Good morning, children. Mrs. Mystery here. Tuesday, 12th of January 2021. Today's bag lesson, spellings, punctuation and grammar. Look at the following sentences. Pick the correct word from the options for each sentence below. The window was broken, broked, braked by the ball. Mandy wrote, writed a letter. Benji has ated a large cucumber. Which word is the correct word to fit that sentence? How did you do? Let's look at the first sentence. The correct word in that sentence would be broken. The window was broken by the ball. The second sentence, Mandy wrote a letter. And the last sentence, Benji has eaten a large cucumber. Today's English lesson, the learning question is, can I use questioning to find out how a character is feeling? And steps to success. I can use question words to ask questions. I can write questions with a question mark. Can you remember what has happened so far in the story? What did Toby see, hear? What could Toby smell? How did Toby feel? What do you think is going to happen next? Let's read the story to page 18. I'm going to start at the beginning to remind you of the story. Listen well, children. Toby was asleep after a long day's work. He lived above his master's shop in London. Toby, get up, shouted master. You've left the book for Mr Pepys here. Foolish boy. Take it at once. It's for his diary. Oh no, cried Toby. He leapt out of bed, grabbed the book and ran out into the street. The night was hot, but there was a strong breeze blowing. People were out in the street. Some were running. Toby looked up. There were clouds of smoke and a red sky. Whatever was the matter? Toby ran round the corner. Fire, fire, shouted an old lady. She was still in her dressing gown. London's burning, cried a boy, and the river's full of boats. Toby saw the flames. He ran on. The streets were full of carts and choked with smoke. Toby pushed past the crowds of people. He must find Mr Pepys. At last, Toby found Mr Pepys' house and knocked on the door. But no one came. Is anyone in? Called Toby. No one answered. He climbed the wall. Up and up he went to the top. Then he saw a terrible sight, an arc of flame spreading all over the city of London. Toby turned round and saw Mr Pepys putting bottles into a pit. Toby was so surprised he wobbled and had to jump down from the wall. He landed by the pit, but the book landed in the pit. Oh no, cried Toby. Hey, this pit is for my wine and cheese, said Mr Pepys. It's to keep them safe from the fire. Today we are thinking of questions to ask Toby and Samuel Pepys on how they felt on the day of the fire. Here are some examples of question words. Can you think of any more? What question would you like to ask Toby and Samuel Pepys? So here are some questions that I thought of to ask Toby and Mr Pepys. For Toby, how did you feel when you forgot to deliver Mr Pepys' parcel? What did you see when you climbed the wall? And for Mr Pepys, who made you cross? How did you feel when you saw the fire? Your task today. Write questions to ask Toby and Samuel Pepys about how they felt on the day of the fire. You need to write at least 3 questions for Toby and 3 for Mr Pepys. Remember, questions need question marks at the end of the sentence. Finally, have a go at this quiz on question words. Copy the link into Google search. Good luck.